Now, the government officials have visited the families of two pupils who died today. They were involved in Monday's minibus taxi crash that was transporting school children in the Vaal. The driver today appeared in the Vanderbijlpark Magistrate's court, and this is where he's facing a litany of charges. This includes 14 of murder. Newzroom Afrika's Nqobile Madlala is on this story for us, and she joins us from Sebokeng. Nqobile, good evening to you. Just reading some of your updates, and you are telling us that the family where you are, we're hoping that God would spare their child. Talk to us more about how they're coping at this time.
Well, yes, indeed, Oli. In fact, the two families that we have been able to visit at this point, one of Tato's family where we were coming from, who was already also 16 and who was in school. The other one where we are currently is the Mate family, and the child here was 16 years old as well. They were both the children that were airlifted, mainly because of the seriousness of their injuries. Now, Tato, we are told that she had an injury to the head, and we understand that there was actually, she went to a hospital and they were saying that she would have a second surgery in a couple of days because there was the hope that she will pull through it. Unfortunately, she didn't. Now, in this family, it's the same situation. The family had the hope that their child will also pull through. But in this area alone, Oli, the two neighbors where I'm standing, just the family I'm standing in, and just a stone throw away from here is a grade 1 child that also passed away in this accident. So you can already understand the kind of grief that is shared here by the different families that are currently here. From the various grades of the different schools that these children were part of when they were in this accident. Even though most of them have this feeling that perhaps the fact that it is now have been lifted from culpable homicide to murder, that this means that the serious charges will see the person that was driving this vehicle, the accused at the moment called Vanderbijlpark, being held responsible for what has taken place. It is very difficult for the family. The grief, Oli, you can feel as people cry here. You can feel how painful it is. You feel exactly when they talk about the hopes and dreams that they had. Specifically, Tato, we were told that as she was in grade 12, they had hoped to see her go further, that her dreams actually coming true and being able to fulfill really the dreams of their parents. And now all of that have come to an end, mainly because of the accident that happened on Monday. So you can just feel the sadness, the pain that the families are going through, and also that sense of relief and hope that the justice will take its course. But we know that with this case now being postponed to the 5th of March, they have to wait and go through the funeral processes. They have to go through the memorial, which we know already is going to be taking place tomorrow. And we know that also there's still an issue with regards to whether or not there's going to be a mass funeral. Now, you'll know, Oli, that most of these families will have different beliefs. They will have different cultures as well. And that's what also is taking at play, where the confusion with regards to whether or not to do it all together and how or whether it will clash are some of the discussions that are taking place behind. But we know that all of them want to see this being laid behind, really, for them to move on from the pain that they have felt. One family member that we had spoken to spoke about how even going to prison, going to court, having seen the accused being in front of court doesn't really give them that consolidation that things are going to be all right. They've said that this should be an example to any person that runs a scholar transport, that they should do things accordingly and that the paperwork must be in line. And these are some of the things that are coming out at this point. And of course, we know that the Department and the Gauteng Department of Education is continuing to visit these families to give them a sense of support, a sense of support with regards to assisting them with all the plans. And at this point where we are standing, this family here is also getting that kind of support, Oli.
Very difficult time indeed, and difficult days ahead for these families. Thank you very much, Nqobile Madlala.